I got one right here. Trump signs order to shift disaster preparation from FEMA to states and local governments. U.S. President Donald Trump on Tuesday signed an executive order that seeks to shift responsibility for disaster preparations to state and local governments, deepening the drive to overhaul the Federal Emergency Management Agency, FEMA. The order's first previewed by the White House on March 10th calls for a review of all infrastructures continuity and preparedness and response policies to update and simplify federal approach. It said common sense investment by state and local governments to address risks ranging from wildfires to hurricanes and cyber attacks would enhance national security, but did not detail what they were or how they would be funded. Preparedness is most effectively owned and managed at the state and local and even individual levels, supported by a competent, accessible, and efficient federal government. The order said, when states are empowered to make smart infrastructure choices, taxpayers benefit. The order calls for revising critical infrastructure policies to better reflect assessed risks instead of an all-hazard approach, the White House said in the fact sheet on the order. So how can you get your state prepared and then a hurricane, a tornado hits, and everything in your state is destroyed?
Yeah, they're basically trying to they just want to tear apart the entire federal government. This is what's kept, really states in a situation to where we should be. Why are we even in the United States if everything has to be taken back to the states? Why is that? They're trying to take education back to the states. They're trying to take FEMA now back to everything back to the states. It doesn't make sense. You think that California can deal with the wildfire, paying for the wildfire by itself? After they've put billions and billions of dollars into the federal government to help pay for other people's states. It doesn't make sense. They're going through wildfires right now in Oklahoma. They went through them not too long ago here over in, that New York and not New York. I'm sorry. North Carolina and South Carolina, somewhere around there. They were going through them over there as well, too. And so it gets to a point to where we have to start looking at this for what it is. It's actually he's ripping apart the fabric of what this country is slowly, bit by bit.
Well, I mean, that's what Republicans want to rely on their states. They'd be like, take the laws back to the states, right? But they want to rely on blue states to fund them.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? Now, if we stopped it, because now you see it, they're trying to hide it. But the reds, Republican states are coming out like, look, hey, man, I thought you was just going to do the people we don't like. Like, you affected all of us. Like, the parents are having to worry about, you're cutting the Board of Education. That supports us. Exactly. You're cutting off Section 8, DSHS, and food stamps. That's us. They're the poorest states. And so, I mean, let the states handle it. Let us fund ourselves, right? If we don't have to give it to the federal government, guess what? The West Coast is going to be fine. Arizona is going to be fine. Nevada is going to be fine. New York's going to be fine. Illinois is going to be fine. You know what I'm saying? I'll even say Texas is a red state. Texas is going to be fine. Now, you little other states that have nothing else to offer the rest of the country except for taking money, you're going to suffer and your people are going to suffer. And you know that because you're trying to have town halls with your senators and your congressmen, and they're ignoring you. They're not coming. You're screaming at it. I've seen the videos. You can try to hide it on the news, but I've seen the videos. You're not showing up. The people are already struggling. You have hella federal jobs. Those people aren't working. Those economies are crashing right now.
It's like he's actually put this a whole play in place so that we fight within each other until we basically rip apart. Because I mean, if they say those states that we're talking about, a lot of them are maybe Midwest states and poor Southern states. They're more agricultural states. Now I'm going to raise the price of my food and my goods to your other states. I'm going to damn near put a tariff on my goods going into your state. I have to in order to make money. If you want to pass through my state to go somewhere else, you got to pay me to do that. You get what I'm saying? It's going to change the way America operates. And I only remember one country having this type of a vision for America tearing itself apart from within. There's probably a few others, but Russia talked about this all the time. We won't even have to fire a single shot. We've got a plan in place to tear you guys apart from within. This is what they've talked about. Putin's talked about it himself. There's a whole video about him talking about it. I can't remember if it was Nikita Khrushchev or somebody else talked about it years and years ago as well, decades ago, talked about this as well. So this is like, he's putting a plan in place. He's putting the play together exactly what other countries have wanted to happen in this country, where infighting it rules. And they
told him that, if you can destabilize America where we go into a recession, then they can buy up everything. Yeah. So in their mind, they're thinking, hey, this can be a profit for us. And other countries are looking like, yes, destabilize them enough. And if all of us attack them at once, there's nothing you can do. Because think about it, who's going to come save you? You know what I'm saying? If you're not going to back Ukraine and NATO, why would they come defend us? You know what I'm saying? They can just watch us crumble. The reason they would defend us, because they know if we crumble, they go next. But if we already left them hanging, they'd be like, hey, whatever. They're going to work out something with the bricks and get it back together.
Absolutely. I agree with that.
Yeah.